Hey everybody, this is Krista. Welcome to Burn Bright. Today I'm going to be discussing Shatter Me, and this book was released by Harper Teen November 15th, and I have to say is one of my favorite books of the year. So it's been getting a lot of hype, and I think it is completely deserved. I love the writing style. I love the dystopian adventure, superhuman powers that come along with it, and let's get started. Characters. First off, we have three big main characters. That would be Juliet, whose perspective the book is told from. We've got Adam, who is kind of the love interest and protector guardian of Juliet. And then we have Warner, who's the bad guy. He is part of the reestablishment that has taken over the world, and he wants to control Juliet and her powers and use them for his own benefit. So Juliet is locked away in a hospital, jail cell, some kind of concrete building where she just has this little window to see outside, and she hasn't talked to anybody in like 264 days. Been locked away because she has been accused of killing. So her touch, obviously, she's got a magical power. So literally her touch is lethal. So she's got a cell by herself, and one day they tell her she's getting a roommate, a cellmate, a co-prisoner occupant. And this is where we see the introduction of Adam. Adam is her new cellmate, and the interaction between them is kind of weird, being as Juliet is not sure if she's crazy or mad, or she's kind of closed in on herself, so she's really shy and like she's in a shell all the time. She's really just protective. Mostly because she's worried about either them touching her or her touching somebody else, because she does not want to hurt anybody ever. So then one day Warner takes them out of the prison cell, and he says, I need to use your power. And then Warner wants to test her a little to see what she is really capable of and what her powers can do. And it gets really exciting. There's some really exciting scenes and action-packed, like, whoa, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. This is crazy. She really is powerful. She really is lethal. Wow. So Adam eventually becomes love interest. He's the protector. He cares for her. He wants to take care of her. But in the situation that they're kind of in, there's things that are kind of tearing them apart at the moment, and it's all kind of secretive and closed in. We see them in the structure of this prison psychiatric hospital setting, where it's kind of really dark and just cement and cold feeling, and then she's taken out of that and put into a room, but it's not really any better. There's cameras watching her, and she's got this constant protection of Warner always knowing every single move that she made. And then finally, as the story progresses, big things happen, and I don't want to go into that because it's too exciting to talk about. It's too spoiler alert. So the plot really unravels. It starts out, you're really questioning what's going on. Is she crazy? Does she really have powers? What kind of world are we in? What is the reestablishment? What's going on outside of these walls? And she hasn't been out there, so she really doesn't know. She's hearing the information from the very little people she's having contact with. So she's just really unsure of what's going on. And this part of the writing is where it takes the step of she's constantly crossing out words. The author, she'll write something and cross it out and then rewrite something else. And in this way, she portrays kind of this unsure feeling that Juliet's having because she hasn't been out in the world. So she's like, should I think this? What am I thinking? I'm unsure of myself. I can't get my thoughts straight. What is this person doing here? Why am I still not alone? What's happening? I don't like change. Kind of all this stuff is happening in this. Another thing that completely got my heart for this book was the writing style. There's different kinds of writing going on here. We have the crossing out of words to represent the Juliet's not knowing how she really feels about a certain thing. So you'll see complete sentences crossed out as you read. Another thing that I've noticed was in the very beginning of the book, we get a lot of this like visual poetry that just describes stuff in so many words. Like, she's come up with this other way of describing Juliet killing time. And I just wanted to read that one paragraph to you. And so I just want to read this quick paragraph to portray what I'm trying to talk about here with the poetic writing. I can shoot 100 numbers through the chest and watch them bleed decimal points in the palm of my hand. I can rip the numbers off a clock and watch the hour hands tick, 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 their final talk, just before I fall asleep. I can suffocate seconds just by holding my breath. I've been murdering minutes for hours, and no one seems to mind. And I really, really enjoyed the way that these words, just a simple sentence or a simple idea, can be so, visually, I mean, you could picture that in your head, but it's just such a simple concept of killing time, but it's just written so beautifully, and I really, really enjoyed that writing style, and I sure hope she doesn't lose it as the trilogy continues, because as the first book continues, and we see Juliet come out of her shell a little bit more and get to know the people around her and what's going on with the establishment and the world outside, we see the writing style kind of go more towards mainstream writing. We lose a little bit of the poeticness to it, and the crossing out of words dissipates as the story goes on. So eventually the story becomes just a regular written novel. I mean, overall, the first half of the book, of course, is unraveling. So we're questioning how Juliet's thinking, what world that we're in, what's happening, who the people are, and it's just slowly unraveling as we start getting along. But then as things start to happen, you're really seeing an action, fast-paced story here. The back of the book has a blurb on it that it's a combination of X-Men and the Hunger Games, and it really is. This is so good. You got superhuman powers. You've got a world that's dying of hunger, and because this whole new regime has taken over. The reestablishment has. So as the story progresses, we really get to see Juliet come out of her shell. Not quite as much as I think that most people want her to, but we get to that point where we can actually see her full capabilities and who she is, and how other people, can interact with her, and she can be a human being again. And then at the very end, we have a whole bunch of different other characters come in. My favorite being Kenji, because he kind of brings in this humor to the book that was kind of missing from the beginning. And so it's nice to have that little bit of change up in the story when you get so much action and adventure and drama going on, to have that little bit of upbeat of the humor. So I don't have enough good things to say about this book. I really recommend everybody pick it up. It's a great read. This is a book that anybody of any age will enjoy, especially if you're into the X-Men, the superhuman powers, the dystopian that is so popular today. You should really check this one out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stepping by the site today, and I will see you soon.